there's a lot of things. I mean, I'm not look. I don't know the answers, and I'm not trying to pretend that I'm this guy that knows everything because I don't, man. I'm one of those guys that I dive deep into these discussions and podcasts and read articles, but this right here is something that's going to kind of be a big ticket issue as we go into the 2020 election, economy, and the winds of war. And that's a topic for a whole other podcast, but it's something to take a look at. So if you guys want to be more informed on the UBI topic, definitely check out Andrew Yang's website. Look up that interview with him and Ben Shapiro.
He's just a trendy guy, you know.
And funny thing is, I think he's not only trendy, but he's a very smart individual. I think he makes a lot of common sense.
Super intelligent. I mean...
do I agree with everything he says? No, but I think he's kind of the kind of guy we almost need. Even if he, let's say, in a perfect world, he gets elected. Even if he doesn't institute UBI, he's the kind of guy we need. In my opinion.
Yeah. I just think it will never happen because the United States have already had a minority in office. And I don't think... as long as there's a certain generation that's alive, I don't think that would ever happen again. They will never allow it.
Unfortunately.
You know what I mean?
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
That's a fact. I mean, not to say that white, black, or whatever it is, but...
I'm not going to say generation. I'm going to say it's certain people are alive. Because there's good people in that generation.
It's...
there's certain people that are bad.
It doesn't even matter. I think it's... there's certain part of the United States. Doesn't mean they're all bad. Doesn't mean they're bad people. I think it's a lack of knowledge and an ignorance. Because I've seen this even in young people, and it's middle America. I hate to say it, it's middle America. It's those white neighborhoods in the middle of Nebraska, Kansas, Louis. It doesn't matter, that just don't see the same culture that we do in places like Texas, Florida, California. Do I think they're bad people? Not necessarily. I think it's it's an ignorance more than anything.
Yeah.
And I think you can attest to that. You living in Kansas.
I've experienced that firsthand.
And I'm sure you've met great people. But it's also the ignorance of, oh, you're from where? And you're not a bad guy,
What part of Cuba's, what part of Mexico's Cuba in? Like,
it's an ignorance. It's an ignorance. And here's how bad of an ignorance it is. Even in California, I've talked to white people in California that are supposed to be woke, right? Mm-hmm. They don't even know what Puerto Rico is. And Puerto Rico is part of the United States.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't that fucked up? Ain't that fucked up?
It's just not taught in the school systems is the issue. In Florida, it was.
I mean,
I remember.
One would think it's like common knowledge. It was like, hey, so there's the United States and its 3 territories: Puerto Rico, Guam, and America, Samoa. That was common knowledge, at least where we come from.
Yeah.
That's just me, man. I think knowledge is power. I think that our generation has so much access to knowledge, and very important knowledge, but we waste it.
Yeah.
I mean, something a wise man told me once, that knowledge inflates, wisdom directs. And I think
100%.
that we have so much information at our fingertips, we don't have enough wisdom to know what to do with that knowledge. And I think guys like Andrew Yang, even though I don't agree with everything he says, I think he has wisdom. You know what I'm saying? And I think that a guy like him can bring a lot of good. I'm not saying, look, if he does make it to the main ticket, I have never voted Democrat in my life. Since I voted since I was 18, I would vote for him. As of right now.
Yeah, and it goes back to what we were saying. Depends on who's running on the other side, because they're all idiots. They're all liars. They're all thieves, right? But
yeah, well,
pick the best one.
Politicians
pick the best liar.
Look, politicians have been politicians since the Roman times, since the Greek times. They're never going to change. But guess what? There are people that have honor. There are people that want to do good, and
find that diamond in the rough.
Yeah.
And giving out free handouts is not the way. It's not
I don't think it's the way, but
that should be the first hint of a sales pitch, like you were saying earlier.
It is a sales pitch. But I think there's a lot of stuff that in his sales pitch, you have to sell yourself.
100%.
That he's saying this, I think he could do a lot of good. I don't know if he's the right guy. I don't know if Trump is the right guy.
What does he do now?
He's a lawyer. He works for a nonprofit, I think.
He works for a nonprofit. So I was reading his campaign, and he has stats on there. His name has grown to 48% people to people.
Oh, wow.
48% of the United States now know who he is, and it has blown up within the past 2 months. That's scary numbers.
It is, and I really do think
it could be a threat.
We got these establishment. Here's the thing: when it comes to this election, do not listen to the news. Do not listen to the pundits. Listen to what the online world says. Who are they? Who are the young people talking about? And who are the guys that the podcasters are talking about? Because that's how Trump kind of liked it. Nobody was talking about him.
They're like, the sales guy, he's not going to get voted.
He's a fucking reality TV show guy. Yeah. Even the day before the election, he can't win. Hillary's the front runner.
Well, the next day, oh crap.
But again, you can't listen to anybody, man. It's a. I hate to say it. I know that it's kind of early to be talking about election, but you can't help it when all of a sudden the president kicks off his campaign today. His re-election campaign. Joe Biden kicked it off 2 weeks ago. There's like 10 million people running on the Democratic side, and
Jesus, Joe Biden's he's also an idiot.
They're all idiots, but we have to start taking seriously the things that we decide as a nation.
He's the guy. Joe Biden's the guy that you love to piss him off.
No, Joe Biden's the guy that I want to go party with, but I don't want him to be the guy. I want to party with Joe Biden. I don't want to.
He's just so easy to get mad. Like, he gets mad about everything. Like, bro.
So does Trump, though. Let's be real.
Yeah, but obviously, that's what I'm saying. And they kind of remind me of each other in a certain way, which is funny. But he's just a Democrat version. You know?
It's exactly what it is. But it's sad to say, right? Like, even with all the shit that's happened in the last 20 years, that the one president everybody can agree was way better than the last two was freaking George Bush.
Even though he said, fool me once.
Shame on you. Fool me twice.
Fool can't get fooled again.
All right, man. So, guys, we're going to wrap it up. We're done. We went from talking trash to doing awesome shit, and now we're talking politics. And you get two Hispanics talking about politics, it turns into a 4-hour ordeal. So
that's right.
We've got some coffee in our system, so... before we go, don't forget to give us a follow on all forms of social media. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, CoñoCast Pod, and CoñoCast. Email us if you have any questions or want to send us links. Joa, where can they find you, buddy?
They can find me on Instagram, Joa305, Joa305. Where can they find you?
At Sleeve Papi. Oh, don't forget, we got gamers that follow us too. Where can they find you? You're the gamer.
PS4, you can find me, put all caps, Mad Doe, MADTHO 305, and then you can come catch a smoke on Call of Duty Black Ops 4.
I wanted to kind of call you out on this.
Okay.
Your Instagram story, you was telling everybody you was their daddy.
Yeah. I celebrated Father's Day on Sunday for myself because I was destroying people. One of the particular match, I went 45 and 15, and I was sunning them out there, bro. That's right. Guys, we'll see you next week. Be good people. Too much of anything is bad. Be balanced.
Be balanced. Be a good leader. Extremely own it. And I suck at outros, man.
You should have shut it off. That's how good it was. Shut it off.